Hello, hello. I am so happy that you're here, and I'm so looking forward to being a part of your mindful journey. For the past 25 years, I've helped over 12,000 people go from fat to fit, from less to more, from dread to their dream relationship. And I'll tell you more about that because it's really interesting. I've helped people recover from burnout and depletion, and quite a bit of our work has been in this journey from humanness to our divinity through meditation and so forth. Clinical hypnotherapy, professional hypnotherapy, has been a huge part of my adult life. I started practicing this right out of, I was working at university, teaching engineering. I had an opportunity, I had been studying philosophy and therapy as a hobby, to be honest with you, but I had an opportunity to open a hypnotherapy office, and that was in 1996. Never looked back. It's been an awesome journey. So, I want to tell you a little bit about hypnotherapy. What is the big deal about hypnotherapy? And what is so unique about hypnotherapy that we can accomplish through this venue that we cannot accomplish anywhere else? So, let me tell you about this. We live at an age now where everybody's talking about quality of life and having your best life ever, and let's win the world and let's be winners. And everybody is in this movement where we want to be the best we can be and do all that we can do and live life, right? And a few people are doing exactly that, and the majority of us are not. We're watching them do it on social media, but we're not doing it ourselves. Studies show, for instance, that watching people's lives on social media increases the likelihood of depression. And it makes sense, right? Because we're basically watching everything that we wish we could be doing, but we're not doing. And the question is, why not? What have a few people figured out that the rest have not figured out? What is the difference? How come a few people seem to be so successful and the rest of them seem to be suffering, to be honest? Well, it turns out that our lives, the way we live our lives, are a world, and each one of us lives in a different world, right? I don't mean like the earth. I mean, your life is really lived in your world, your friends, your family, your home, like your world. Our world is, in fact, a projection of our inner lives. The example I give in classes is that imagine a movie theater, a typical movie theater. So you're sitting on a chair looking at a screen, but behind you in the projection booth, there is a projector. So above you, there's this beam of light that gets projected from the projector onto the screen. What you see on the screen does not come from the screen. It is reflected off of the screen, but it doesn't come from the screen. It actually comes from the projector behind you, hidden in the projection booth. And the metaphor, the analogy here is that our lives are analogous to what we see on the screen. The kind of car you drive, your health level, your weight, your figure, your this, your that, your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, that's our lives, that's our world. That's a projection that comes from the projection booth of this part of the mind that we call the subconscious mind. So if I'm sitting in the movie theater and I don't like what's going on in the movie, I wouldn't run up to the screen and try to change the movie because there's nothing there. It's just a reflection of light. If I want to change the movie, I got to go back into the projection booth and change the movie that's being projected. Similarly, with our lives, we can try really hard to change our lives by changing circumstances and changing people. But the only way our lives are going to change is if we change what's inside of us, because that's what's being projected outward. That's the big secret. That's the big secret. So Abraham Hicks talks about this. I mean, all of these people talking about the secret and the law of attraction and the law of vibration, all of these things that are going on in the world today, essentially say that if you want to change your life, you have to change what's inside of you. So, what do we mean by inside of you? And this is where hypnosis comes in. It really means our subconscious minds. So, how do you change your subconscious mind? Well, the first thing you need to change your subconscious mind is access to your subconscious mind. It is no different from me trying to tell you, go reset the breaker in the electrical panel in the house. And you say, well, where's the breaker panel? I say, it doesn't matter. Just reset the breaker. And I say, well, in order for me to reset the breaker, I need to have access to the panel where the breaker is. And it's the same thing here. In order for me to change my subconscious mind, I got to have access to it. And that access to the subconscious mind is called hypnosis by definition. Hypnosis is the bypass of the critical faculty, which then gives us access to the subconscious mind. So if you want to change your life in any regard, in any shape, in any way, shape, or form, we need access to the subconscious mind, which by definition is hypnosis. That's all it is. The therapy part of it, when we say hypnotherapy, the therapy part of it has to do with, you know, what it is that we're going to accomplish, but we need access to the subconscious mind first. About 80 to 90% of the people that I have seen out of those 12,000 came to see me for one of four types of things. They are either looking to improve their health, the majority of whom are looking to decrease weight. Some people come in for health reasons unrelated to weight, but that's the minority. A great deal of it has to do with adjusting weight. The way we do it is unique, it's science-based, and it has to do with building muscle, building a better body. Sometimes I call it body remodeling because it isn't just about losing weight, it's about creating a healthier and stronger body all around. So that's one type of thing. The second type of thing people come to see me for, and this may or may not apply to you, is this prosperity mindset. Many people are living a life of misery and poverty. Now, I don't mean any of this offensively. I've been there, done that, and I don't mean it that way. What I mean is most people are broke, but not only broke in terms of lack of money and having too much credit card debt, not only that kind of thing, the mentality is broke. In other words, we don't know how to change. We don't know how to expand and grow. And because we're so limited financially, because the mentality is limited, we don't have options. And because we don't have options, we cannot exercise our divinity. We cannot flourish. So finances and growth and prosperity has everything to do from having choices, health, but also it has everything to do with spirituality, with your self-actualization, extremely important thing. And if we're limited by a mindset that is poverty and lack based, we're going to have a hard time in this world. So a lot of people come to see me to change their minds about money, about prosperity, about wealth, so that they can do better. Another bunch of people come to see me for what we call burnout recovery. Sometimes I call it depletion recovery. Those are the people who are overstressed, or they may have been in a situation of burnout, depletion. They broke somehow, and they need to recover from that. So out of those people, there are usually four things that can create this problem that we call depletion or burnout. Usually they've had a life of in which they're overly stressed, and that builds up and that accumulates. But eventually, they either had a really bad romantic breakup, a bad divorce, a bad breakup, or they had a major health diagnosis, or the death of a loved one, or financial ruin. They lost it all. We saw a lot of those people when the stock market crashed years ago. When they lost everything, they lost themselves as well, and we help them build a brand new life. Right? So that's burnout or depletion recovery. The other fourth of the people are in the area of relationships, and in the area of relationships, I've worked with people in all segments of the process, right? Some people are chronically single. They told me, I haven't had a boyfriend, a girlfriend in years. So we have to change ourselves because remember, our lives are a projection of what's inside of us. We change our lives, we meet a person, and we get into a relationship if that's what you want. Not everybody wants that, but if that's what you want. Other people came in to see me already in a relationship, but in deep turmoil. They're fighting, they're not getting along, they're not fulfilled, they're not happy. I help them get past this dread, this turmoil into the into a dream relationship. And we do that by changing ourselves, not changing our partners. Other people came to see me after a bad breakup and they need to recover so they can get themselves ready for a better and awesome relationship. So I help them recover from the separation or from the breakup. And separation and breakup to us are two different things. To us, a breakup is something that leaves us broken, right? So we work a lot on that stuff. And that's the relationship area. The other thing that we do is we help people with addictions of all types. And the word addiction I don't use in the same way that normally the word is used. So, for instance, some people come to see me because they want to eat less chocolate for whatever reason. Other people want to stop doing porn. Porn is a big deal nowadays, very popular, and a lot of people are in that situation. I do not get into two issues. I do not get into whether or not it is right for you, good for you. That's like a moral issue. I don't get into that. And I don't get into whether or not it's harmful to you. I think the science of it, in terms of brain science, neuroscience, is quite clear on it. I don't have to get into that. And I certainly don't get into the moral issue regarding any addiction or any behavior. And I leave that to the theologians. I work with a person who wants to change. So if a person tells me, I recognize I do too much porn and I want to stop, then I can work with that person. I'll be happy to work with you. But I don't tell people, look, this is wrong, this is bad, you should stop, you should quit smoking, you should lose weight. I don't get into that issue because I'm not in the business of trying to change people. It's ironic, right? I'm in the business of helping those who want to change because they've chosen to change, and I help them get it done by helping them change their mindset. It's a completely different thing. So I don't tell people what they should be doing with their lives. It's just not what they do. But if you or someone you know is deeply involved in pornography and if you think it's bad for you, if you want to stop and you haven't been able to, certainly I can help you do that. So there are many, many behaviors that people want to discontinue, and they try for a while and they can't, and they come to see me and I help them by changing their minds, changing the subconscious mind, and they accomplish their dreams. And the other thing, of course, are people who want to meditate deeper for spiritual reasons. With hypnosis, I can help you achieve greater clarity, greater focus, greater concentration, and deeper meditations. So I call that, the journey, the mindful journey from humanness to divinity. Because when we meditate very deeply, we get in touch with our own divinity. So that's what professional clinical hypnotherapy is all about. So go to the video below and I'll tell you a little bit more about what we do. Blessings to all of you. So happy you're here and so looking forward to meeting you.